everything from the office of Nick Smith.
Jami-Lee Ross.
Mr Speaker, that was a speech from the failed former Mayor of North Shore. Mr Speaker, that was a failed mayoralty of Andrew Williams. The good people of North Shore in the last election he stood in gave him a grand total of 900 votes. Maggie Barry got 22,000 votes in that same election. The good people of North Shore appreciated his mayoralty so much they gave him 900 votes. And Mr Speaker, I can understand why he's so fixated on John Key. Because John Key wouldn't reply to his text messages at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. 3:30 a.m. in the morning after a hard night out in the town, interacting with trees along the way home. Mr Speaker, we are passing this legislation because the ratepayers of New Zealand are crying out for help. And if Mr Williams wants to give us a history lesson, let me give people a history lesson on North Shore. Mr Williams likes to talk on his website about the rates increases he had under his mayoralty. Mr Speaker, during his mayoralty in 2009, CPI was 1.9%. CPI in 2010 was 1.8%. Mr Williams increased rates in North Shore in those years at 3 times the rate of inflation. 3 times the rate of inflation. We're dealing with problems in this country and local government because local government in the past 10 years has been spending up large under legislation that was passed by the Labour government in 2002. Mr Speaker, I want to read out some of the submissions because we heard from Annette King and Phil Twyford about submissions on behalf of individuals that submitted to the Select Committee. If you listen to their submission, their comments, you'd think that everybody is allowed a view in this matter except the poor people actually having to pay the rates bill. Let me read out some of the comments from the people paying the rates bill. I've got one here from Grey Power Waitakere, the very area that Mr Twyford's from. They said in their submission, we call on the government to restrain local government spending. They also said that the spending problem can be remedied by the removal of the power of general competence and the 4 well-beings. What about Wellington? Annette King's from Wellington. What do the ratepayers down there say? The Wellington Chamber of Commerce said the 4 well-beings have been a factor behind explosive, I use the word again, explosive, growth in council spending rates and debt over the past decade. Mr Speaker, I want to say congratulations to the Honourable Dr Nick Smith and the Honourable David Carter for the work they've put into this bill and for the relief that ratepayers in this country are going to be getting after this bill passes. Mr Speaker, ratepayers want councils to focus on good quality local infrastructure, good quality public services and the maintenance of their regulatory responsibilities in an effective and efficient manner. That's what we're delivering for the ratepayers in New Zealand. The decade of bloated council rate increases, the decade where we saw debt quadruple from $2 billion to $8 billion is coming to an end, Mr Speaker. The ratepayers in New Zealand, the people paying the bills, are welcoming this and I look forward to it passing its 3rd reading.
Moana Mackie.